Hello everybody, it's pretty hot right now and I suspect that quite a few of you are going on holiday. So I thought you might like to know a little bit more about travelling well. My name is Sarah Jane Critchley, I'm the author of A Different Joy, The Parent's Guide to Living Better with Autism, Dyslexia, ADHD and more. What I want to talk to you today is around the golden rule for travelling. There's just one golden rule, and that is to prepare as much as you possibly can. So let's just go through my 5 top tips, nice and easy for you. Number 1, first one. The first question is, will everybody enjoy it? Are you desperately trying to take people on a trip they don't want to go on? Yeah, I know I've done that and it didn't work terribly well. It's sometimes worth thinking if this is a trip for everybody, or is it just a trip that you've decided you really want to go on? Now, when they're very little and you have no choice and no one else to leave them behind, then absolutely you need to take them with you. But as they get older, or if there's somebody else you could leave them with, or if there's a friend or a partner and you divide and conquer, then that's okay too. You don't have to all go away all at the same time all together. But if you think that this is something that you want to do, and if you think that it will work for you, by all means go for it. So how can you make that okay? How can you make that work? So try and find something that they'll enjoy. Try and find something that makes it worth the hassle of travelling. Travelling can be really difficult, it can be really stressful, it's a different environment, it can feel quite threatening, it's away from the safe spaces that so many of us rely on to feel okay. So there has to be something to make it worthwhile doing. So plan around that. One of the nicest things we did was when we go away, we allocate a day to each of us to say, well, what do you want to do on that day? And because of that, it means nobody's always being trailed along to see things they don't want to see. And for me, that's just a respectful way of saying that this is everybody's holiday. It isn't just mine, because I might want to sometimes tell people where we all want to go and kind of get a bit organiser and chiefy. I know some of you out there will feel the same. So first thing, will everyone enjoy it? The second one is, what can you do to change, flex or make it doable? So if you know that travel of a period of more than 5 hours is going to be really difficult, can you break it down? Can you stop somewhere on the way? If you find stopping is very difficult and you need to keep going, is there a way that you can minimise those? What is it that you need to do for your young person and your family to make it work for you? And it doesn't matter if somebody else can go from, I don't know, the wilds of the deep south up to the top of Scotland in 12 hours without stopping at all to go to the loo. That would be really strange in my book, but apparently there are people who will just keep going until they arrive there, and that's fine. That's not us. We tend to stop as many times as we need to, and that is a lot more times than most people will want to, and that's fine. I mean, after all, I'm a lady of a certain age and we all have our needs, don't we? Maybe it's not just me, but hey, you know, that's good, it's fine, that's what we need. So think about what it is that you can do based on what you know about your family and your situation that will make it doable. The third thing is kind of part of that as well, and then it's quite important to actually build up the experience of travelling and understanding how to do that. I would suggest, if you've never done a lot of travel, if you've never been on a big holiday, try a few days out first, see how those go, see what works, see what doesn't work, and try and do more of what works. Just because it's a big trip doesn't mean that you have to leave behind all those things that make the daily trips work for you. So it may be that you have to actually pack different things, that you have to prepare in different ways, different food, build all of those things in to build up the experiences. And one of the most important things is that our young people feel comfortable, safe and secure. So we can do a do you remember when? Or some people will do a social story and will write a social story around that. That's a very specific type of intervention, but it can be really useful and you can build on those. So that's a good one. Number 4, packing lists. Oh, I love a packing list. So one of the things that gets really stressful is when you get away, you finally arrived, you may have had a difficult journey, you may not, and then you suddenly realise you've forgotten something absolutely important, and then you have to try and find somewhere to get it. You probably can't get exactly the same thing, and then it becomes really stressful for everybody. In our case, it's often chargers for various bits of equipment. It may be a favoured soft toy. It may be an essential piece of food that you really need in order to feel safe and secure and happy. You're on holiday to have fun, so why not take all the things that make you feel comfortable? I recently, or early on this year, went abroad. We went abroad for business, and my colleagues laughed at me because I took with me a kettle and my favourite tea bags and things like that, but I was the one who was in my room having my favourite Earl Grey tea and feeling really safe and really secure, and they just had to go with the flow. That was fine for them. I was happier knowing that I had what I wanted. And it kind of enables you to find your safe space wherever you are. So I love a packing list, and if you can get your young person involved in what should be on their packing list, what they want to take with them, all to the good. Then once you've got it once, and you've done it once, if there's a favourite book or a favourite toy or favourite clothes or favourite food or any of that, you can put on their packing list, and then they can go through and check it off when they're actually doing the packing, which means that they become more independent, which is what we're all trying to get to. We're trying to get to them being more independent and more able to cope with a variety of things. And it's really important that you don't have to do everything, because what I discovered was that when I was trying to pack for everybody and all the food and all the travel and plan the route and plan the activities, by the time we arrived I would be exhausted, wrung out, and frankly a bit grumpy and not very pleasant to be with, and that's not really what holidays are about, or what they should be about anyway. So a packing list can save you an awful lot of hassle. And finally, the last little thing is a travel comfort kit. Now there's some lovely ones of these that you often see in places like the Mighty, things that people carry with them to make them feel safe and secure. Now that may be a set of ear defenders if you've got somebody who's very, very sound sensitive, or it may just be their own iPod or an iPad if it's got particular games that they like to play on. It could be their own headphones so that they can play the music they like, or they can play white noise if that's what they prefer to go to sleep. It's all those things that will make them feel comfortable. Maybe a chew toy if they feel anxious about that, a pen and paper to write stuff if that's what they enjoy. It could have anything in it, a nice sensory thing, so soft fabrics to touch so they don't end up getting into trouble with people they shouldn't, so that's always a nice one. Plenty to drink, plenty to eat. If things go wrong, think of food first, think of sensory second. Think of what's happening in the environment and what happened first. So the more you take those sort of things with you and encourage people to take what they need, that's part of their little kit, it comes in a bag, it goes with them wherever they are, then that's a really nice way of making you comfortable and safe wherever you are. The more you can feel comfortable and safe, the more you can experiment, the more you can go out, the more you can enjoy yourself. And after all, isn't that what we all want? We're trying to build up those experiences, we're trying to love our lives. So that's what I have for you today. If you've got, I'll put some links down below to some additional resources. If you come to this anywhere other than through the Different Joy Club, please sign up with the link below. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Lots of love. Take care. Bye.